All right, so I'm going to talk to you guys about dimensional analysis, and I know that this is kind of nerve-wracking and it seems more difficult than the way that you're used to converting, but I promise once you can do this, then it's super easy to convert anything, even units that you're not familiar with. Because I think part of the reason this seems so complicated is because you know an easier way because you're familiar with these units, but when you are in chemistry and physics, you're going to get units that you've never heard of before, and so it's going to seem really overwhelming. So if you can get this now, when you're taking those classes later in school, then this won't be such a big deal, okay? So with dimensional analysis, there's 3 basic steps. The first step is you want to write your conversion factors so that the top and bottom cancel out, and you want to be left with whatever single unit that it is that you want in the end that you're converting to. So again, you want to write your conversion factors so that the top and bottom cancel out. The second step is that you just want to multiply straight across. So once you have all units canceled out except for what you want, then you're going to multiply straight across, and then you're going to simplify. Those are the 3 steps. So I'm going to start with an easy one. 2 minutes is how many seconds? We all know it's 120 seconds, okay? But I just want to show you how dimensional analysis can be used. So these are both conversion factors here. We have 2 minutes. Oops. We have that 1 minute is 60 seconds. We have that 60 seconds is a minute. It's the same conversion factor, but if you notice, they're written flip-flop from each other. So if I'm going to write, I've got that 2 minutes is what's given. So I'm going to say 2 minutes. I don't have any other unit with that, so I'm going to put that over 1. So I have 2 options here. I can either put this one here, or I can put this one here, because I'm going to multiply it by one of the conversion factors. Now, I do not want to pick this one, because if I do, I notice that I've got minutes here, but I've got 60. Oops, I've noticed that I've got minutes here, but I've got seconds here. So that's not going to help me. So what I'm going to do is I am going to choose this conversion. Same conversion factor, but the way it's written is different. And the reason I'm picking that one is because I've got minutes on top here and I've got minutes on the bottom here. So now those cancel out. So that was the first step. I wrote my conversions, I canceled out my units. So I am left with seconds, which is what I'm converting to. The second step is to simply multiply straight across. So I have 2 times 60, which is 120. And then I have the seconds, which is the unit I was looking for on top. And then on the bottom, I have 1 times 1, which is 1. Then the third step is just to simply simplify, which is just 120 seconds. Okay, so let's try a more difficult one. So it says, how many seconds are in a day? Okay, so we're going to say that 1 day equals blank seconds. All right, so I've got 1 day. That's what's given, and I'm going to put it over 1. Now, I don't know directly how many seconds are in a day, but I know that there are 60 seconds in a minute, there's 60 minutes in an hour, and there's 24 hours in a day. So I'm going to start by saying that 1 day has 24 hours, okay? And so my days cancel out, leaving me with hours on top. But I'm not looking for hours, I'm looking for seconds. So I'm going to keep going. So then I know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. My hours cancel out, leaving me with minutes on top. Still not done because I still don't have seconds. So then I can say, well, 60, no it's not. Yeah, 60, no. Sorry, that 1 minute is 60 seconds. My minutes cancel out. Now I'm left with seconds, which is what I was going for here. So these are all conversion factors that I had to make sure I wrote with the correct unit on top and the correct one on the bottom, just simply so that everything could cancel out. And so now that everything is canceled out, except for the seconds that I wanted right here, I'm done. Now I can multiply. That's the second step. I said you multiply. So I'm going to multiply 1 times 24 times 60 times 60, which I do not know what that is. So let me see what it is. And that is 86,400. So 86,400. And the only other thing I have left on top is seconds. And then on the bottom, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. So this is 86,400 seconds. Okay, so let's try a little bit more difficult one. Okay, now this one we have 2 units going on here. So we have 23 miles per hour, and we are converting that to inches per second. Okay, so we are converting miles per hour to inches per second. So that means we're going to have to convert the miles to inches in the hours to seconds. So it doesn't matter what you change first, meaning you can go from miles to inches first, or you can go from hours to seconds first. It does not matter which one you do, okay? I'm just going to go miles to inches first. So from the paper that I gave you on top, you saw that there's no direct conversion with inches and miles, but we know that 1 mile is 5,280 feet. And again, notice I wrote it so that my miles are on top here, my miles are on the bottom here, and they cancel out. And then I know that 1 foot is 12 inches. I've got feet on top here, feet on the bottom here. They cancel out, leaving me with inches. So now I've got the inches like I needed. So now we're going to work on the seconds, the hours to seconds. So I've got hours all the way down here in the bottom. So I know that I need to have hour up top, and I'm trying to work towards seconds. So we'll say that 1 hour is 60 minutes. This hour cancels out, and this one way over here cancels out, leaving me with minutes. But I'm not looking for minutes, I'm looking for seconds. So I know I gotta have a minute on top, and I'm trying to get closer to seconds. So we'll say that 1 minute is 60 seconds. My minutes cancel out here, so I am left with seconds. So now I can multiply everything else I have together. I have 23 times 5,280 times 12 times 1 times 1. 23 times 5,280 times 12. It's a really big number. 1,457,280. Okay, so I have 1,457,280, and I have inches. That's the only unit that's left on top, which is good because that's what I wanted. Okay, and then on the bottom, I have 1 times 1 times 1 times 60, which is 3,600, and I have seconds left on the bottom, which is good because I should have seconds. All right, so then I'm going to take these numbers and I'm going to divide them. That's that third step of simplifying. So I'm going to divide that by 3,600, and I get 404.8. So 404.8 inches per second. Okay?